All right, welcome back, everybody. Trade the Matrix Sunday, Liquid Sundays, 712 SPX market overview. Let's take a look at our notes here. Market recap from the week of July 6th through the 10th, 2026. Weekly performance: S&P up about 1%. It was a volatile week. Nasdaq up over 1%. Dow Jones slightly down. Flat, hit record Monday, 53,000, 55.91. Let's see. Key drivers going into this week: AI tech stocks volatile, strong rebound Monday on Broadcom Apple news, sharp sell off Tuesday on valuation concerns. Geopolitics, obviously, US Iran tensions pushed oil higher midweek, then eased. Early earnings: PepsiCo mixed, Delta Airlines, SK Hynix, Nasdaq debuted, boosted chip sentiment Friday. Next week, Tuesday, July 14th, we got CPI, biggest focus, plus Fed Chair Warsh testimony, and major bank earnings: JPM, BAC, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, and Citi. Wednesday, July 15th, we have PPI and Empire State Manufacturing, plus Beige Book, and notable earnings: J&J, MS, BLK, ASML. Markets will be highly sensitive to inflation data and bank results for the rate outlook and economic signals. Expect volatility around Tuesday's release. Also, um, just some notes from the almanac that I'm looking at. The Monday before July monthly expirations, the Dow has been up 17 of the last 22. So we've got a bull on our almanac for tomorrow. Um, Also, there's a bowl on Tuesday. And then obviously we have July monthly expiration day on Friday the 17th. Statistically, Dow down 16 of the last 25, down 4.6% in 2002, 2.5% in 2010. But it does have a bull on it. So we'll see what happens. That's some notes from the almanac. All right, so you can see my notes here. Obviously, we'll just get rid of that off the screen now. Um, we got our breakout on this trend line here. We are still within range though, so we have to keep that in mind. I brought up. I got a little four-way chart here that I kind of pulled up, and I'm just gonna pull up the monthly real quick here. All right. So we had a low of last month. We had a low of 72, 37, 85, 75. That's fine for purposes of this. What we're looking for, and then high of 76.20. That's our all-time high cash session. So we'll just leave it. That's fine. All right. So just something of note that we went over last Sunday, obviously. The video, if you go back, we basically we opened up here. We did come down and tested our monthly pivot slightly below, and it did hold that 74.28.85, and we did push back up into our monthly golden pocket here, and we closed above, obviously. So we're gonna see pretty much heading into tomorrow, into the beginning of the week. I want to see if the um, if the 786 level on the monthly holds, first and foremost. Then we just scoot over to the weekly here. Weekly pivot is 7,500. And again, basically, we'll just look to see where 75.38 kind of lines up. That would still be within the weekly kind of golden pocket area here. Ideally, we want to be above 75.38 and this 75.45. Ideally, 75.51 was our number that we wanted to close above, and we did close well above it. Obviously, we closed at 75, and if we look at our daily candle, here's Friday's candle right here. 50% of that candle, 75.44, so that kind of lines up. And obviously, if we're trading above 50% of Friday's candle, we're going to look to see if we can break out above our resistance again. And then I just put an hourly chart up from the low, basically that low that got kind of swept on Friday, 75.08, all the way up to 75.80. That's our range from Friday, and this is just looking at it kind of on an hourly chart. If we pop over to the futures, we're just trading right now. You can see we're kind of trading right in this area here. So here's SPX 500. Got some ATR levels up here, and yeah, we don't. These are our structure. So gap down, obviously, not really anything super significant as far as I'm concerned yet. But you can see here we're basically going back, talking about some of those levels that we're kind of going back to test overnight. So we'll see where we are tomorrow morning. Obviously, we'll have a plan for Monday before the bell. All right. So some other notable things I kind of want to go over here. Q's, also has not broken out of the triangle yet, but did hold the bottom of the triangle, and it's looking pretty solid still at this point. And I wouldn't doubt if we test the top of the triangle here again. That's around 77.32 on the QQQ. The VIX is way down in the 14 handle now. We dropped below 15 here. You can see we are, kind of breaking this structure here to the downside. Obviously, going to bounce a little bit on some of this geopolitical tension, but maybe not anything too significant. I mean, if the VIX doesn't get up over 18, 19, I don't think the market's gonna care too much about what's going on right now, as far as escalation in the Middle East right now. Also notable to keep an eye on. You can look at oil futures, kind of get an idea. Here's the daily chart here, and basically kind of breaking below our 200-day moving average, and kind of testing it here, right on this little gap up here, but I suspect this is going to act as resistance here, and we'll push back down. So here's our weekly as well. I don't think that oil is gonna get up above this this trend line, to be honest with you. It looks like oil's kind of pricing in, some ultimately some de-escalation, even though it might not seem very likely by some of the headlines, but that's what the market's kind of telling us right now. Um, Other notable things to watch. Um, we can look at, obviously, you can look at TNX. This is something we want to watch here. This is a weekly chart, obviously. But you can see here that we have a trend line to the upside. And this is our weekly chart here. See, we just basically are almost at the top here again. Daily chart as well. There's a little bit of a kind of little breakout on the daily chart on a smaller time frame right here, but kind of hitting basically up here on this weekly resistance. So that's something that we'll watch for. I mean, should yields break out, should TNX rally up over, you know, um, 469, and then 4.8, and then we're really gonna want to pay attention. Um, Probably that'll put pressure on equities, but let's see what happens heading into this week. Not quite sure we're at that point yet. If we look at some um, some things from Friday here, Nvidia was pretty strong, up 4%. We talked about Nvidia, and um, it was right kind of at the bottom of that trend line, and was also at the 200-day moving average on the daily. This is kind of what I was talking about last week. Um, this is looking a little bit more constructive now, but nice little kind of breakout here. This is your 200. Looks like a little kind of double bottom here. Breaking back up above this, filled this gap right here. So something to keep an eye on. Pretty nice reversal candle here, honestly. If we can break back up above, excuse me, break back up above this change of character here, we might get a nice little rally on Nvidia. It almost looks like a little flag now at this point. Other notable areas of interest, obviously, semis and memory stocks. We did get a nice bounce on the SMH. You can see here, came down and kind of bounced off this. This is a weekly chart here. This 618. So SMH, in my mind, really has to get back up above this level here, though, before I would get too excited about more of a rally. I don't think I would be getting too excited quite yet. Chasing anything here. This is kind of golden pocket here, but um, you can see this major trend line here. I do think is going to get tested again, and the question is, does it come and test it kind of gradually like this, or does it come kind of straighter down? that will be seen. I guess this could just kind of go sideways, consolidate also, um, into the end of the year. But this is still still looking bearish in my mind, just because I want to recover this candle's wick here before um, mainly the 786 level, but this candle's wick would be kind of a better signal. So um, that's SMH. The other one, obviously, DRAM, important, doesn't look nearly as good. Um, this looks like it's still kind of, here was that trend line, kind of a similar trend line, and we're still below this level here. So a lot of the gains that we saw in the first half of the year came from this part of this trade here, this and SMH. So kind of rotating maybe out of this stuff still, and we can take a look at the mags again. Was something that we were thinking was maybe pouring, you know, out of mags, out of SMH, out of DRAM, and maybe back into mags here. And you can see here recovered this trend line, recovered the 200-day moving average, and this looks pretty solid here. To be quite honest with you, we talked about maybe a little, inverse head and shoulders here. Here's a left shoulder ahead, maybe a right shoulder right here at the 200. So um, some of those stocks within the mags, I think we can maybe shift our focus back into um, in the next couple weeks. Um, let's see some other notable things that I want to discuss before I hop into some other tickers and stuff that I said I would go over. Here's the just wanted to bring this up here. Here's the contract um, from the other day here. I posted this in the Discord, and we took this trade. Some of us, I basically got in around here around 660, sold close to 9. But this was a um, this was a 7:45 call for 7:17. So expires this Friday here. So this was almost a double on Friday, from Wednesday to Friday. Nice little swing trade, where you could have day traded it as well. Just wanted to kind of keep it up here for reference for anybody that was curious on how that was doing. And yeah, so that's kind of all I wanted to go over, kind of what to look for heading into this week. So I can wrap up this portion of the presentation, and then we can take some questions um, for some other tickers and things.